Good morning, everybody. I'm Dr. Mukesh Parik. I'm live with the lecture on history of the translation of the Bible. Show your presence so that we can start the class. Okay, I can see some of you. Let us begin the lecture. First of all, the Bible, which we are very familiar with today, is actually it means book. Number one. Number two, the history of the translation of Bible. This topic comes under the broad topic that we call the total reformation of the church in England. But when I say that we are reading, one thing I would also like to say that the connectivity is very poor today. So we will try to have this lecture because I already have published and invited so many friends, so people will be waiting for this lecture. But suppose in between the it halts or it stops because of the poor weather, then you can excuse me. We can continue this lecture tomorrow also. अभी हम बात करते हैं आज के जस्ट इमेजिन करिए पहले तो कई सारे स्टूडेंट्स को देयर आर मैनी स्टूडेंट्स हु आर नॉट अवेयर दैट बाइबल डज नॉट बिलोंग टू द क्रिश्चियंस ओनली okay bible has a history even the people when they were not converted into Christianity they had their religious book Bible for example when we say that when the history of the Bible starts so there were Hebrew Bible was there and then Greek Bible was there and you all know that Christianity came very late when Greek was not there so we can say we should know और मैं आपको किसी और लेक्चर में ये बात ऑलरेडी हूँ कि जो इस्लाम है उनके जो पैगंबर हैं वो पैगंबर भी बाइबल को मानते हैं इसका मतलब ये है कि एक हिब्रू बाइबल के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से अगर हम बात करें या जू कई बार कहता रहता हूँ लेक्चर में दैट इट्स ऑल जूडो क्रिश्चियन whole hierarchy and the history in which the Bible is the holy book of the Christian people okay but ऐसा कहा जाता है बाइबल के बाद भी ऐसा देखो इसमें बहुत सारे क्वेश्चंस बनते हैं सबसे पहले तो ये पता होना चाहिए कि जो मोज़ेस उनको माउंट सिनाई के ऊपर आकर के और बाइबल का मैसेज मिला था and then he spread the message. Yesterday I put a quiz on my Facebook and this was one of the questions in that quiz. So ek to mein basic we should be aware about the basic that the whole Protestant movement and this Protestant movement is it moves along with the translation of the Bible. अब थोड़ा सा ये बात कर लेते हैं कि भाई why there is a need of the translation of the Bible. So as you all know that in 2 or 3 lectures back, I was talking about that our major democracy or our major control on ourselves and the way we control the other people. This control somewhere has linguistic control actually. So linguistically Bible somewhere it was necessary. जैसे कि हम देखते हैं कि Wickliffe was the first one who translated the whole Bible into English. But as we know that Wickliffe came before Chaucer. So English language was not exactly in the pure form. The way we have this language today, English language, it did not develop up to that extent. So today there is no reference of Wycliffe's Bible comes. But now to make this lecture more important and to make this lecture rememberable or it can go to your memory, I will be talking about at least 10 Bibles which are very important from history point of view also, from exam point of view also. So first of all I'll be reading from my notes that Hebrew to Latin. The first translation was from Hebrew to Latin. क्योंकि जब हम लोग पढ़ाई करने लगते हैं तो हमें यही पता नहीं चलता है कि क्वेश्चन कहाँ से आया. फॉर एग्जाम्पल, इफ आई गो टू द क्वेश्चंस ऑफ नेट एंड JRF, आई फाइंड दैट ऑलमोस्ट इन एवरी नेट दे हैव बीन आस्किंग अस अ क्वेश्चन ऑन द ट्रांसलेशन ऑफ बाइबल. सो सबसे पहले तो एक बात का ध्यान रखिएगा, फ्रॉम Hebrew to Latin there was the first translation and it was done by Jerome, Saint Jerome. ये आपको एग्जाम के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से मैं बता रहा हूँ. ओके, दैट वाज translation of some importance. Number one. Number two, it was done in 400 before after Christ, AD we call it. उसके बाद में विक्लिफ बोलते हैं. विक्लिफ का जो ट्रांसलेशन है वो आया, उन्होंने टेस्टामेंट और न्यू टेस्टामेंट दोनों को ट्रांसलेट किया. इट वाज डन इन 1380. ओके, सो दैट इज द सेकंड ट्रांसलेशन. थर्ड, as I told you that Wycliffe's translation is not considered to be the most important translation because the language, English language was in shambles. English language was in its infancy. It did not have those kind of words, which we use today. That is why many clerics or the authorities of the church, they discarded. And even he was आपको मालूम होना चाहिए कि विक्लिफ की डेथ के बाद में 40 साल बाद में चर्च ने फरमान जारी किया कि उनकी हड्डियों को निकाल करके उनको जलाया जाए. He was termed, he was declared a heretic. It means he did something against the established religion, that is Catholicism. So you can understand कि Bible का translation was not very easy task, because when you translate Bible, obviously you put a challenge to the authority of the church. क्योंकि चर्च कई बच्चों को ये भी समझ में नहीं आता है कि why Protestant movement was very bloody in the sense that why bloodshed was there during the translation of the Bible. उसका the most important reason behind is कि जब आप ट्रांसलेशन करोगे तो इसका मतलब है कि लोकल लोगों तक आपकी जो बाइबल की नॉलेज है वो पहुंचेगी. और जैसे कि हम लोग कई बार जानते हैं कि क्लरिक्स का मतलब यहाँ पे क्या निकलेगा, द पीपल हु बिलोंग टू चर्च, यानी कि द प्रीस्ट लोग जिनको हम बोलते हैं. द प्रीस्ट दे डिड नॉट वांट that whatever language they know that knowledge should be transformed to, or either say transferred to the common masses, जिनको लेटी कहा जाता है चर्च की लैंग्वेज में. So they did not want कि वो जो भी बोल रहे हैं, अच्छा, and they then was able to do the corruption in the church. तो इसलिए हम लोग याद करते हैं मार्टिन लूथर को, that Martin Luther was important क्योंकि मार्टिन लूथर ने, इरास्मस ने, these are people who prepared the ground for the translation of Bible. मैं फिर से बोलता हूं एक बार कि आज के लेक्चर में हमारे एग्जाम के पॉइंट ऑफ व्यू से जो पॉइंट्स हैं विच आर वेरी इंपॉर्टेंट, दैट व्हेन वी सी एनी क्वेश्चन रिगार्डिंग द ट्रांसलेशन ऑफ बाइबल, तो दे कैन आस्क यू अ क्वेश्चन लाइक. और आपको मालूम होना चाहिए कि हिब्रू से लैटिन लैंग्वेज में जो बाइबल हुई थी उसका नाम है वल्गेट. ये क्वेश्चन भी नेट में आया हुआ है. दे हैव ऑलरेडी आस्क्ड दिस क्वेश्चन. सो मैं पूरा लेक्चर देता जाऊंगा. आई विल बी जस्ट टॉकिंग अबाउट द हिस्टोरिकल एंड द पॉलिटिकल सर्कमस्टेंसेज इन बिटवीन. हो सकता है मैं सीधे आपको ही बता दूं एंड कि भाई कौन कौन सी बाइबल कब कब ट्रांसलेट हुई. तो हिब्रू से लैटिन वाज द फर्स्ट वन. इट वाज डन बाय जेरोम, सेंट जेरोम, एंड लैटिन बाइबल इज कॉल्ड वल्गेट. Second is Wycliffe, as I told you. Wycliffe's Bible was translated in 1380. Okay, it was the translation of the New Testament as well as the Old Testament. अब ये बात भी कई बच्चों को मालूम नहीं है कि जो बाइबल है उसके 2 टेस्टामेंट हैं, और जो दोनों टेस्टामेंट हैं वो दोनों ही इंपॉर्टेंट माने जाते हैं. उसमें द फर्स्ट टेस्टामेंट इट टॉक्स अबाउट why should I avoid bilingualism, because maximum number of students are here. They require this lecture in bilingualism, but I will translate everything whatever I speak in Hindi. Okay, so don't worry. So the second translation was by Wycliffe, and as I told you that Wycliffe translated the Old Testament as well as the New Testament. And Old Testament has the history of the Genesis and how everything occurred in Christianity. In the New Testament there is the teachings of the Bible and the sufferings of Bible. Clear? And then comes the third important translation that was done by Tyndale. Friends, Tyndale could not read the translation, but then when they give us questions in the exam, they always give us certain options. And in between the options, there is always an option written by Tyndale. So you should be aware about, if they ask us a question that which Bible was not complete. So that was the Tyndale's Bible. Okay. And I would also like to say that, all the Bibles, before the authorized version were not considered to be the very, very important Bibles. The reason behind that was that they were the Bibles of translated versions. It means the original Bible, which was in Hebrew, then it was translated into Greek, then it was translated into Latin, then it was translated into the other languages. But then, as you all know, that translation is something dangerous phenomenon, because when you translate something, today, whatever number of sects of Christianity, or say creeds among Christianity, they exist just because of the different translations. I would like to give you one example. Acha, you have to remember also that how many translations I have already talked. I've talked about Hebrew to Latin, that is Jerome's translation. Then I've talked about Wickliffe's translation. Then I talked about Tyndale's translation. Okay, and Jerome's translation is not English; it was a Latin translation. But Wickliffe and Tyndale's translations were the English translation. Okay, now I digress and talk about that. Why Bible translation was important, and how it creates sects, how it creates, say, different creeds among Christianity. Actually, for example, when somebody interprets, for example, yesterday I was reading Manusmriti, and I came to know that there are more than 50 versions and manuscript were found, even when English people were creating the Hindu law. Okay, so whatever is written in Manusmriti is not exactly can be pinpointedly say that it was the exact was interpreted and written by Manu. I hope you understand my point. It means ages after age, people come and they add their own versions, and then it becomes a kind of polluted version, and then there becomes a controversy. So we cannot exactly say that which Bible is the most accurate translation. But because the authority of church was there in the Vatican City, and in Vatican City there was the Latin Bible, which was the authority. So any Bible which was translated into the dialects and all the other versions, one thing you should also remember, that the church, the authority, was not always against any kind of translation. But what they wanted, that if you translate anything, they should take permission from the Vatican City. And any head of the church should be the governing body, so that under his titularship, under his aegis, under his say under his guidance, the person should translate the Bible. But it did not occur, and there were other people who were not satisfied with the corruption in the church. For example, Luther, as you all know, that Luther was a kind of dissent. He was not happy, with the corruption which was prevalent in the church. As you all are aware, that Chaucer was also one of them, who has made fun of and satirized and ridiculed the happenings of the church. So we can understand that what was the tussle between the translation and the Vatican City. Okay, so Tyndale, when he translated, was discarded. His translation was discarded, and said that this is not exactly based on the Latin version, or say the Greek version or the Hebrew version. Certain things he has translated in the wrong manner. So that way Tyndale's translation is considered to be an incomplete translation. Okay, then comes the most important name, and that is Miles Coverdale. I think in our exam this question has appeared more than 5 times. Miles Coverdale actually took Vulgate into consideration while translating, and Vulgate was the Latin translation. It means he took in confidence the church authorities, and when he translated, he also included certain apocryphal aspects of the Bible. Acha, how many of you are aware about Apocrypha? In some of my other lectures, I talked about this term, Apocrypha. How many of you are aware? Write it down so that I can be sure that you are really and seriously attending my lectures. I welcome all the new people who are watching me first time, and you should go to my website because I'm about to teach something. I'm about to read something from my blog also, and my blog is on my website mukeshparik.com. So with the split screen, my students will be reading, and then will be enjoying this session. Okay, I'm asking you a question. How many of you are aware about the term apocrypha? APOCRA, CRYPHA, apocrypha. Anybody who is aware? Okay, then I let me answer. Apocrypha, or say apocryphal, is something which is against the Bible. For example, if you remember, I gave you a term, harrowing of the hell. Harrowing of the hell means that the descendants of Christ into hell. And as you all know that Christ is the son of God, he cannot go to hell. But in certain versions of Bibles, because there are so many different Bibles in the world, and uh, Christ has also been shown, that somewhere, before his resurrection, before his resuscitation, before his incarnation, uh, he went to hell. That is not acceptable, so that is called the apocryphal part. So I would like to involve in this lecture, include in this lecture. Yeah, somebody has answered that uh, it is all blasphemous. Blasphemous means there is a term in English, blasphemy. It is against anything which is religion, the established religion. Okay, so Miles Coverdale included apocryphal elements also. Okay, and that was not exactly the say all accepted Bible. Otherwise, you people must have seen this Bible around the world, but it is not so, because as I told you that Miles Coverdale included apocryphal elements also. Clear? I will again repeat certain words so that the new students can also be benefited. That is harrowing of the hell, HARROWING. Harrowing of the hell means the descendants of Christ in hell, and that does not mean it must have occurred or might have occurred. I don't know. We don't know, because Acha, I stopped this lecture here just for the while, and I would like to the students of our regular batches. I have already sent them the PDF. I have already अभी थोड़ी देर पहले, just 10 or say 15 minutes earlier, I sent them the PDF of this today's class. And a few days back, I shared on one of the groups A.K. Ramanujan's most important essay, which will be asked in the exam, in the coming exam, I think. That is 300 Ramayanas. Likh lijiye, you should write it down, those who are the serious students. 300 Ramayanas. This has been a very, very controversial essay, which was canonized, or say put into the syllabus of Delhi University, and then because of the huge protest, this was removed from the course, because we Hindus believe that there is only one Ramayana, but then we are also aware that there are different versions of the Ramayana. Okay, and I sent this essay to the group so that serious students can read that and can understand that the world in which we are living right now is a world of research, and research only can open our eyes. And I do believe that yes, there have been different Ramayanas, there have been different versions, and even yesterday it was the birthday of Goswami Tulsidas ji, who wrote this Ramcharitmanas, and the reference of Kevat was included by Tulsidas, and it was not there into the original Ramayana, that is Valmiki's Ramayana. And the concept of this Lakshman Rekha, that is also the product of Tulsidas ji. It was not there. There is no reference of this into the Valmiki's Ramayana. Okay, so I would like to add here something, that why I'm adding certain things in this lecture, so that you people who are going to be the professors of English, because today the professor of English language in India and abroad also are not only the professors of English, they are professors of say humanities, because it's all multicultural these days. Multicultural in the sense they have to study sociology, philosophy, psychology, and whatnot. So when we come across all these things, we need to know that we will have to do a lot much research. For example, when we read Kalidasa's this Shakuntala. Are you aware that the whole story that Shakuntala and this Dushyant had, a very different kind of marriage, where they just exchanged the garlands. We call it Gandharva Vivaha. Okay, with the acceptance of, or say with the consent of the both, in forest somewhere, without society involved, without parents involved, they could have accept each other as a man and wife. But then he forgot. Now I read somewhere that, how can it be possible that a man who had made love with a girl could have forgotten a girl when she came, with a protruded belly, that your child is there in my stomach. The reason is, he Dushyant, that king, must have been a very very promiscuous king, as the kings are considered to be, and he must have made love with hundreds and thousands of girls, that he could have forgotten that, who she is. But we never talk about that. We simply say that, because Kalidasa has written, it is a national literature, so we add our sentiments with that, okay, and we don't become neutral and don't do research and all. So I'm not saying that I'm speaking anything against mythology, or I'm saying anything against the established religion and all. But the question is that this history of this lecture, particularly like the history of the translation of Bible, it establishes that even Christ has been a mythological figure and not a historical figure. And that is why, with the publication of this Origin of Species in 1859, it altogether disturbed the English culture and their way of thinking there in the England. And today, when we read Church Going, a poem by Philip Larkin, we come to know that how disturbed they are with the established religion. Because established religion, when I talk about church, when I talk about Hinduism, when I talk about Islam, when I talk about any religion in the world, which capture your mind. Because Shelley has said that if we are devoid of the priests and the lawyers and kings, I think there will be real freedom, real democracy in the world. So I don't want to digress more now, but I would like to say that whatever digression I had made so far must have given you a mind to think regarding the importance of say research, and what is going to be our job there, not only to teach students, but to make their minds fertile and to look in a very very a reasoning manner, in a very logical manner about things. So let us come back that Miles Coverdale's Bible was again because he translated the parts of the Apocrypha. Okay, so that was not considered to be, but up to an extent Miles Coverdale's name is asked in the exam, because he completed that translation, and later translations of the Bible somewhere included Miles Coverdale's Bible. That is why Miles Coverdale's name is important. So I would like to repeat now that Jerome's Bible, that was in Latin, it's called Vulgate. Then Wickliffe's Bible. One more question is asked in the exam, that who were the followers of Wickliffe? Are you aware about this question? Can you answer this question? Who were the followers of Wickliffe? If you are aware about this question, you can answer the question, because this question has already been asked, I think 2-3 times in the exam. Who were the followers of John Wickliffe? Any idea? I can't wait. They were called Lollards, Lollards. Lollards means the low people, low, Lollards. Okay, so this question has already been asked in the exam. then Tyndale's Bible, then Miles Coverdale's Bible. Miles Coverdale's Bible is important because Miles Coverdale's Bible is the first complete translation. But they can ask you again a question that before that, who did the complete translation? That was Wycliffe's translation. But because English language was not in the developed stage, and we cannot exactly say that there were so many errors in that Bible. That is why Miles Coverdale's Bible is important. Then comes Great Bible. Now, Great Bible, actually what happened, as you all know, that Henry VIII has something to do with in between this lecture. Henry VIII was the first king who removed the papal authority from the English throne. Papal means it's an adjective of pope, because as I told you yesterday, that almost all the kings of England, they were converted into Christianity, and so they were under the aegis of the Vatican City. Means it was episcopal government. We call it episcopal, and the authority of pope is called the papal authority. Okay, so this papal authority was there, and this Catherine of Braganza, not exactly Catherine of Braganza. Actually, Henry VIII wanted to give divorce to his legal wedded wife, who was the niece of the Pope of Vatican. So she had a strong relationship. So you can understand. So the divorce was not allowed, and he wanted to marry, a kind of a dancing girl, who was actually Mary Boleyn. Her name was Mary Boleyn, I think, and that is why this divorce was not allowed. So what he did, he overnight uprooted Catholic churches. He burnt all the Bibles, Catholic Bibles, and he put to stake and burnt all the Bibles there, and put instead of the earlier Bible, he put his Bible there. And now it cannot be done in overnight. So what he did, he put certain priest on the commission, and who was I would like to say something here, that which one is the most important seat of Christianity in England? That is Canterbury. Okay, and Canterbury's head was always had a nexus with the king. Okay, so when he removed the Catholic churches from England, Henry VIII, the Archbishop of Canterbury, his name was Thomas Cromwell. Okay, so Thomas Cromwell, there are three Cromwells, so don't get confused. Thomas Cromwell is different, and later Cromwell is different. Clear? So this Thomas Cromwell was assigned this task that do something with this Bible, and instead of that, they took the material from this Miles Coverdale's Bible, and it was published by let me read this name, Whitchurch. It was published by Whitchurch, so it is also called Whitchurch's Bible. It was great in size, so it is also called the Great Bible, because it was commissioned by Thomas Cromwell, so it is also called Cromwellian's Bible. It was so heavy, and there was a fear that people must be removing it from the churches, because it was forcefully hurled on the people, so it was chained there. So it is also called Chained Bible. And in the second edition of this Bible, Cranmer, the publisher, he wrote a preface, so it is also called Cranmer's Bible. So there are five names of this particular Bible, which was established by Henry VIII. I repeat this because the Archbishop of Canterbury was under the king. So Henry VIII assigned this task that a new Bible should be appointed, or a new Bible should be given to the people. So they mixed all the Bibles, and in that Bible, Miles Coverdale's Bible was the important one, because Miles Coverdale's Bible had almost a complete version by then. Okay, so this Henry VIII's Bible was called Great Bible, Chained Bible, Cranmer's Bible, and Whitchurch Bible, because Whitchurch was the publisher. So these are some of the names, and this is next Bible. Okay, now comes Geneva Bible. Geneva Bible was introduced into 1560. Now there is a history behind this. Let me tell you something about it. Actually, what happened that when Henry VIII died, and his son was enthroned, he did something to establish the Anglican Church. When Henry VIII died, and Catholic Church was removed from England, so the new church was called Anglican Church. Okay, and Anglican Church had this new Bible that is called the Chained Bible, or the Great Bible, Cranmer's Bible, Whitchurch Bible. Okay, and this Bible was based on Miles Coverdale's Bible that has already been told. Now, Henry VIII's son, he did something to establish and spread Anglican Church. But then, because he had a poor health and he died, and because nobody was there, so Catholic daughter of Henry, that is Mary. We call her Mary, Bloody Mary today. I tell you the reason that when Bloody Mary, we call her Bloody Mary because Mary was a Catholic, and as you all know that Anglican Church had already been established, but she started killing the people. She started removing those Bibles and burning those Bibles which were established by her father. Now you will be surprised that how can it be possible that a father is a Protestant, because Henry VIII adopted Protestantism. So let me tell you one thing, that in English culture, in Christian culture, is something which is a bit strange to the other people, but a franchisee. Today we have a word adult franchisee in our lexicon, in our vocabulary. In Christianity, what happens that when somebody is born, so within 3 days they are brought into the church, and the priest of the church anoints that person with the holy water, and we call this ceremony baptism. One thing, okay. And the religion means a born child is neither a Muslim nor a Christian nor a Hindu in their culture. He or she is nothing, okay. He is or she is to be brought into their religion by baptism, and the religion of mother should be the religion of the child till the age of 18. Okay, and when the child becomes or arrives at the age of 18, again there is he has to participate in the ceremony of baptism in the church, and then he is taken into the church again. And but now, because he has developed his mind and he's of 18 of age, so then he can choose whether he wants to go to Protestantism or say Catholicism. It all occurred after Protestantism came into existence, but before that everybody was Catholic. Okay, so because Mary was the daughter of the divorced wife of Henry VIII. So she came to throne and she started killing people. That is why she did a lot much blood shed. So she was named Bloody Mary. And the people who were followers of this Anglican Church, or those who were in the favor of the translation of Bible, they fled from England, and they started rewriting the Bible there in Switzerland. And you all know that Geneva is in Switzerland, and because there it was allowed Protestant, because Switzerland was a Protestant country. So that is why the next Bible, because the Queen Mary, she came on throne in 1553 and she remained there till 1558. And then in 1558 Elizabeth came. Elizabeth was the illegitimate daughter. Why illegitimate daughter? Because when Henry VIII married Isabella Boleyn, what is her name, I don't remember exactly, and because church did not allow that marriage, so that marriage is illegal from Catholic point of view. Okay, but she was very much Queen Elizabeth, the daughter of Henry VIII, was very much born out of the wedlock. So but still she is considered to be a bastard daughter, because still in India, in the world, Catholic Church is considered to be the major church, though there are now more than 70-80 branches of this church. Branches in the sense that there are different creeds of this church. Creed means an offshoot of a particular religion. For example, Sikhism is a creed of Hinduism, We cannot say that Sikhism is another religion. Okay, it's a creed of Hinduism. Okay, so Geneva Bible, कुछ समझ में आया आप लोगों को? Geneva Bible. Now, I would like to speak on Geneva Bible. Why Geneva Bible is important? Geneva Bible is important because it has, in earlier Bibles, we did not have any verses, we did not have, footnotes, we did not have maps, and all the other Bibles, these Bibles did not repudiate. मतलब वो जो पहले की Bibles थी, उन सभी Bibles में the king was considered to be the divine person. Means you have to follow king. But in the Geneva Bible, the most important aspect, which is mostly asked in the exam, that why Geneva Bible is considered to be the most important and fertile, and all the major writers, for example, John Donne, Shakespeare, Bunyan, and the people who went to America in the Mayflower. आपको याद है, few days back I asked you the name of the ship on which the pilgrims का मतलब यहाँ पे है वो लोग जो अमेरिका गए थे colonialism को establish करने के लिए. They were 100 in number, and these people had this Bible on the ship. So this Geneva Bible is considered, and let me speak more about this Bible. That Geneva Bible is important because it had verses, maps, indices, footnotes, and they did not this Bible did not now what is the divine rights of a king? Divine rights का मतलब क्या होता है कि राजा ही भगवान है. And but so as per democracy is concerned, as you all know that the Puritan sentiments were increasing into England. Okay, so Geneva Bible was more popular, though it was not an official Bible because it was banned by Queen Mary, and when Elizabeth came, she started working on the another Bible. Okay, and Queen Elizabeth, and she appointed certain bishops and came up with another Bible, and this Bible is called Bishop's Bible. तो मैं एक बार फिर से सारे नाम ले लेता हूँ. हिब्रू से लैटिन में जो ट्रांसलेट हुआ उस बाइबल को हम क्या बोलते हैं? उसको हम बोलते हैं वल्गेट, जेरोम का ट्रांसलेशन, फिर विक्लिफ का ट्रांसलेशन, फिर टिंडेल का ट्रांसलेशन, फिर माइल्स कॉवरडेल का ट्रांसलेशन, फिर ग्रेट बाइबल जिसको हम लोग विटचर्च बाइबल, क्रैनमर बाइबल, चेन्ड बाइबल, द ग्रेट बाइबल, बहुत सारे नामों से जानते हैं. उसके बाद में आता है जिनेवा बाइबल, एंड देन बिशप्स बाइबल बाय क्वीन मैरी. Acha, now I would like to add something here. More and more translations were occurring, and it was these Bibles were adding to the vernacular of English. I hope you understand. Mr. Mithu says that he is not getting the sound. Is it the case with everybody here? Can you hear me? Can you all hear me? Because of the poor connectivity, I think there must be something wrong, with your sound system. Otherwise, I think most of you can hear me. Okay, I'm sorry for the disturbance into the lecture. Let's continue the lecture. अच्छा, पहले आप ये बताइए, आपको मेरा lecture समझ में आ रहा है? Are you really getting what I'm trying to teach, trying to convey to you? And I would like to ask you to go to my YouTube channel today and watch a video which I shared yesterday also on different channels. On different pages of FB, because this lecture is very important. If you I will convert a video and I will upload it on YouTube today. आप एक काम कीजिएगा, आप once you watch it here, and I ask you to watch it again, okay, on my YouTube channel, so that the certain things must be very very clear to all of you. मैंने बहुत सारी बाइबल्स के नाम ले लिए हैं अब तक. So what I was talking about, I was talking about मैं भूल गया बात करते करते, but I was talking about Geneva Bible. I think I was talking about Bishop's Bible. I was talking about that Queen Elizabeth. I was talking about कि जो let me speak in Hindi for some of my students now, कि Bible के translation से English language को benefit हुआ. Okay, so they can ask you a question that English, what is more important? So for the not only the Shakespeare, Marlowe and all the other writers. But I think the translation of Bible. देखो आपको एक बात बताता हूँ. Queen Elizabeth is considered to be the most important queen in all the respects. Elizabeth was too much concerned. She was the only queen, after say Henry VI, who said that the the worship should be in the common man's language. Means she talked about the importance of the vernacular. So we can say that when she must have appointed certain bishops, then she must have ordered them that translate everything, from whatever is Latin, or say any word which is Greek, and which is not to be understood by the common people. अच्छा देखो, I would like to give you one example here. चलो बताओ कि पूरे नॉर्थ इंडिया में why तुलसीदास रामायण, तुलसीदास रामचरितमानस, उसका घर घर में पाठ होता है. हम उनकी हनुमान चालीसा को बार बार पढ़ते हैं. Why? उसका कारण बताइए मुझे. Easy to understand. It is very easy. The people still don't understand, Tulsidas, the language of Tulsidas, he used in Ramcharitmanas. But you cannot deny this fact that those who are not aware about my YouTube channel should search it either under the name of English Cosmos or Mukesh Parikh. You will find my channel, okay? English for Net GRF by Dr. Mukesh Parikh. This is the name of my YouTube channel. Get the subscription of it. Press the bell icon and you will get the notifications. I'm sorry for the digression. So what I was talking about the importance of the vernacular. That somewhere, जैसे मीरा है, तुलसीदास है, उधर अगर हम भक्ति आंदोलन की बात करें तो संत तुकाराम है. इन लोगों ने कृष्ण भक्ति को बढ़ाया, राम भक्ति को बढ़ाया. Somewhere, they preserved the Sanatan Dharma somewhere. But I should not digress now, and let's come back to the concept of vernacular. Okay, Queen Elizabeth is उसके बाद में हमारे पास आता है, that when Queen Elizabeth died, James I came. अब देखो, James I जब when he was enthroned, so he had a problem. क्या कारण है कि वो भी बिशप्स बाइबल को फॉलो नहीं कर पाए, एंड ही अपॉइंटेड मोर देन 40 बिशप्स इन 1611, एंड ही अपॉइंटेड these more than 40 bishops, and he asked to write another Bible. अब उस बाइबल में there was a lot much politics involved, because प्यूरिटन सेंटिमेंट वाज राइजिंग. आपको मालूम है कि जेम्स फर्स्ट, उसके बाद चार्ल्स फर्स्ट, उसके बाद तो राजा, मतलब जिसको अपन बोलते हैं, जो रॉयल थ्रोन को ही खत्म कर दिया था, और क्रॉमवेल वाज एनथ्रोन्ड. इंटररेग्नम जिसको बोलते हैं, प्यूरिटन मूवमेंट जिसको बोलते हैं. एंड प्यूरिटन नेवर लाइक्ड एनी किंग असर्टिंग हिज डिवाइन राइट्स, बिकॉज मैं ऑलरेडी आपको बता चुका हूं कि प्यूरिटन्स किस चीज को बिलीव करते हैं. अच्छा, मैं एक एक्स्ट्रा लेक्चर दे देता हूं प्यूरिटन, बट अभी अपन बात करते हैं that James I, when he appointed 1611, that Bible called authorized version, okay, and also called King James Bible. And this Bible is the most important Bible which is found in every household today. अब हमारे एग्जाम में जो क्वेश्चंस आते हैं कि King James Bible somewhere revolutionized English language, okay, and it included so many different phrases and words and all. And I have already shared the major 2 PDFs. एक PDF मैंने रेगुलर स्टूडेंट्स जिन्होंने हमारे यहाँ एडमिशन ले रखा है ऑनलाइन क्लासेस में, I have already shared that PDF with them. and उससे पहले भी आप लोग अपनी PDFs चेक कीजिए. I have already given them one more PDF in which I have discussed the importance of King James Bible and how many different words he has contributed to the English language. Okay, उसके बाद let me talk about this Douay-Rheims Bible. When we are talking about all the Bibles, these are called Protestant Bibles. In Protestant Bibles के अलावा there was a Catholic Bible into English also. As you all know that Catholics were not all beheaded, Catholics were all not killed. There were Catholics in England. And Reims, Douay and Reims are 2 places. Douay में Old Testament का translate, they are cities in France. So Catholic Bible was also translated, and it is called Douay Rheims translation. Douay Rheims Bible. Let me speak the spelling for you. Douay. Douay and Rheim. Douay Rheims Bible. Douay Rheims Bible is the Bible when we read Rape of the Lock by uh, Alexander Pope. As you all know, that Belinda is a Catholic one, and because Alexander Pope was a Catholic, and in Catholic community, because when we read Rape of the Lock, Belinda has a Bible in his cupboard, so that cannot be King James Bible. It should be, it must be, I think, Douay Rheims Bible, because Douay Rheims Bible was famous by that time, and it was the English translation of the Catholic Bible. That is the exact translation of the Vulgate. So these are certain names which are associated. Now let me talk about Puritanism separately, so that you people can understand that actually when translation was occurring in different countries, Zwingli's name is important. Martin Luther's name is important. John Calvin's name is important. So John Calvin, when he translated the Bible, he reached to a conclusion that with this whole story of the Bible, that Adam and Eve, when they did not follow the instructions of God, and their progeny, that is mankind, is all doomed, and we all will go to hell. Okay, that is the whole story. But God has selected only a few, and heaven will be given to them. So the theory of predestination, we call it the theory of predestination. It is with some, and with hard work, with a lot much devotion in God, and you should not consider anyone more important than God. You should you must not indulge in entertainment. These were certain philosophies of the Calvinistic philosophy, which is called the Puritanism. And this is the reason that any Puritan, he never likes any king in between, and that is why all the people who are Puritans, for example, this our Milton was a Puritan, okay, and when he writes Paradise Lost, he makes Satan the hero of his book. Why? Because the hero, this Satan is the one who is challenging the authority. So actually, metaphorically, this is the challenging of God there in Paradise Lost. Milton, the authority of the king, that is Charles first and second later on. So these things are all involved somewhere or the other. So this is all about the basics of this Protestant movement. And one thing, एक और छोटी सी बात मैं आपसे शेयर कर लेता हूँ, that this predestination के अलावा there is one more concept which is important in the Calvinistic philosophy. के जो Puritans होते हैं, उनके अंदर एक चीज़ और मानी जाती है, that they don't consider the transubstantiation. अब ये transubstantiation क्या होता है? Transubstantiation का मतलब होता है that Eucharist, that ceremony in which the bread and wine is considered to be the actual flesh. With their prayer, they consider that the wine becomes the blood of Christ and bread becomes the flesh of Christ. Okay, and they consider it like the miracle happens during the prayer. This is all about those Catholic people. But these Protestant people, particularly the Puritans, they don't consider that. They don't follow Eucharist, transubstantiation, but they just follow it ritualistically, and they don't consider that it altogether gets converted into the real flesh and blood of Mr. Malik ji. I think because of some poor connectivity, you are unable to hear. You can attend the same lecture on my YouTube channel after 1 or 2 hours, because I will upload this lecture, today's lecture, because of the request of some students. Those who are unable to attend today's lecture, they already have requested me that please record this lecture, because I don't put every lecture on my YouTube, but this lecture I will put. So those who are unable to watch it properly here, or they missed some part, they can watch it on my YouTube channel. Okay. Now I can't speak more about this topic. Let us read our poem. Go to my website mukeshparik.com or englishcosmos.org and open my blog and tell me, I'm going to teach you a poem. मुझे आप बताएंगे कौन सी पोएम आज मैंने लिखी हुई है वहाँ पे, बताइए. You are going to tell me that which poem I have uploaded on my blog under today's date so that we can read this poem. Go to my website mukeshparik.com and open my blog there. The moment you go to my blog, you will find FB lecture on 28th of July, and I have uploaded a small history, not some complete thing, which I have already given to my regular students, the PDF. A part of that I have already uploaded there, and a poem has already been uploaded there. So you are going to tell me the name of the poem so that we can start reading it. Visit my website, go there, use the split screen so that you can see the poem also, and simultaneously you can see my face also. I welcome all my viewers, because mostly I don't exchange pleasantries while I'm delivering my lecture, because it disturbs me as well as my students. Nobody is answering. And have you shared this video? Kindly share this video. मैं रोज आपसे एक रिक्वेस्ट करता हूँ, इतने सैकड़ों बच्चे इसको देखते हैं, बट मुश्किल से 2 या 4 बच्चे इसको शेयर करते हैं. डोंट यू थिंक दैट यू शुड शेयर दिस वीडियो? आई कैंट फोर्स यू, बट आई कैन आस्क यू, लाइक यू शुड शेयर इट. You should share this video with your friends, with your other people on your WhatsApp groups also, on your Facebook page also. And I always say that when you watch the same video on my YouTube channel, you should write some comment there so that the other people can see that there are certain other people in the world who are working hard. Okay, only 3 people have written the name of the poem. I did not get the response of Pushpita and the other students. I've got the response of Madhusudan, Kundan, Swati. What about the other students? Are they simply looking at me? They don't want to read the poem? Go to my website mukeshparik.com either, or englishcosmos.org. The moment you go there, you will find my blog. You can search my blog there. Sibnath Layak is watching me but not responding which poem I'm going to teach today. Okay. Astrophil and Stella is a collection of sonnet sequence by this Philip Sidney. You are all are aware. And today I'm going to read one sonnet, sonnet number 63. Okay, it is on the grammar rules. So they can ask you this question, that who has written a sonnet on grammar rules. So in almost every lecture I teach you something important from examination point of view. I again request you all, kindly share the video on your Facebook so that maximum, and make a request there that watch this channel regularly, come to this Facebook page regularly so that you can get free lectures. Okay, Astrophil and Stella. Oh, grammar. Oh, grammar rules, oh, now your virtues show. So the writer is somewhere praising the rules of grammar. And before I teach this poem, I would like to ask you that, what do you think? Do you think grammar is important? From post-colonial point of view, grammar is not important. But from linguistic point of view, grammar is important, because grammar gives a structure, okay? But when we talk about literature, it is considered that somewhere grammar is not as important, as rhythm, or the putting of the words, similar words, together. But here writer says that, oh, grammar rules, oh, now your virtues show, so children still read you with awful eyes. Awful eyes means when we learn grammar, then we. चलिए मैं आपको ग्रामर का एक रूल बताता हूँ, that how important grammar can be in between the poem, being a teacher. Suppose I say that seeing, S-E-E-I-N-G, seeing a snake, I killed it. एक सेंटेंस है seeing a snake, I killed it. और एक है having seen the snake, I killed it. Now which one is correct grammatically? Seeing a snake, I killed it. और दूसरा है having seen a snake, I killed it. बताइए grammatically which one is correct? लगेगा. The first sentence is using gerund and the second one is using the. तो grammatically the first one is correct because जब हम लोग कोई देखते ही मारने की कोशिश करते हैं, है ना. बट व्हेन आई से हैविंग सीन इट, इसका मतलब है देखने के काफी देर बाद, खूब सोच विचार के बाद मारा. लाइक रीचिंग होम आई टेक टी, या रीचिंग होम आई टुक टी, या हैविंग रीच्ड होम आई टुक टी. विच वन इज द करेक्ट वन? अब इसमें मालूम है कि घर पे पहुंचते ही चाय नहीं पी लेंगे, पहुंचेंगे, चेंज करेंगे, फ्रेश होएंगे, उसके बाद बैठेंगे, देन वी विल टेक टी. तो हैविंग रीच्ड होम आई टुक टी. So I'm just giving one example that, I'm a writer of a book of grammar also, because I did my MPhil. As you all know that I'm double MPhil. So I did my MPhil in English language teaching also. There we were, made perfect in the rules of grammar and all. So I'm just giving you a part of my knowledge that, how important at times, if you're being a teacher, you're teaching somewhere, so he's telling is right, seeing the snake, I killed. So you can understand that, if you don't teach children, and it is something, worldly known, that students of literature are not very good at grammar. But I must tell you that even students of literature, why I did double MPhil, why I did, 14 times NET and 3 times GRF, there is a reason behind that. Because I feel that I don't know anything, and I, keep like, I keep writing research papers, I keep writing, I keep studying. Even, when I come in front of camera, I feel that, I have forgotten everything. So मुझे ऐसा लगता है कि अभी क्या पढ़ा है, कुछ पढ़ा ही नहीं है, अभी तो और कुछ पढ़ना चाहिए. And seriously, if somebody, a great professor starts delivering a lecture, I will sit there like a student and start making my notes. जब कोरोना खत्म हो जाएगा और सपोज हम मिलते हैं किसी सेमिनार में, then you will really find me a very very serious student in a seminar. So मैं ऐसे ही बता रहा हूँ कि राइटर क्या कहना चाह रहा है कि oh children still read you with awful eyes, and grammar is personified here, and the children read the rules of grammar with awful eyes का मतलब होता है with a kind of fear in their eyes. As my young dove may in your precepts wise, young dove का मतलब यहाँ पे beloved है. In your precepts wise, her grant to me by her own virtue know. For late with heart most high mean to say very emotionally, with eyes most low means with veneration, with respect, eye most low, I craved the thing which ever she denies. मेरी जो beloved है, whatever she denies, I find that, that thing is very very important for me. I craved the thing which ever she denies. She lightning love. Now this goes with the word dove earlier, so there is an internal rhyme in the poem. The lightning love mean to say, the writer says that love enlightens you, one meaning, and the second meaning is that love, it's makes you light has a pun over here, light in the sense displaying Venus sky. Venus skies mean to say that when you write perfect love letter, when you grammatically say your sentences perfectly, Venus means the goddess of love. Then displaying Venus skies mean to say that this grammar, this vocabulary, this sentences in my love letter, they somewhere make me see, the perfect love. Least once should not be heard twice said no. मैंने कुछ कहा उससे पहले ही बिलावट बोली 2 बार नो. तो अपनी म्यूज का मतलब द गॉडेस ऑफ पोइट्री, वो कह रहा है कि मेरी म्यूज, नाउ यू सिंग, नाउ लो पेन सिंग. पेन का मतलब होता है अ सॉन्ग इन प्रेज. यू शुड सिंग अ सॉन्ग इन द प्रेज ऑफ माई बिलावड. हेवंस एनवी नॉट एट माई हाई ट्रायम्फिंग. Though heaven is envious with me that I have that much beautiful a beloved, but that is not a thing of success for me. But grammar's force with sweet success confirm. But I want that grammatically my sentences should be perfect. For grammar says, oh this dear Stella way. Dear Stella means beloved. Stella was the name of the beloved here. Oh grammar says, for grammar says to grammar who says nay, that in one speech two negative affirm. That grammatically I want to understand the speech of my beloved, that when she says no, no, that she cuts the one no with the another no, and actually grammatically, when I approach my beloved and when she says no, actually it is a yes. So again, the writer is talking about meiosis, if you are aware about this literary term, that when one negative is cut with another negative. Okay, so this no need to go into the depth of this sonnet. Simply you should remember that in Astrophel and Stella, 63 numbered sonnet is devoted to grammar, and somewhere that this whole sonnet is on about that when you, जैसे आपने कभी नोटिस किया है, कभी कभी कुछ लोगों की बात हमें कई दिनों बाद समझ में आती है. मुझे अभी रिसेंटली 10-15 साल पहले किसी का कोई सेंटेंस कहीं बोला था, तो मुझे अचानक से समझ में आया कि उसने क्या कहने की कोशिश की थी. अब मुझे पागल मत समझ लेना, बुद्धू बिल्कुल नहीं, बट आई जस्ट वांट टू से दैट हाउ वी ruminate things sometimes, and it is the grammar somewhere, when we put word with word and try to understand exactly what is the meaning. So it is again a play on the words, and the writer wants to say जैसे एक गाना है बॉलीवुड इंडस्ट्री में कि जिसमें राजेश खन्ना और एक और लड़की है, वो गाना गाते हैं, प्यार है, तो वो लड़की कहती है ना 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 ना. So na 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 means all the no's are cut with the another no's. Okay, so grammatically if we say that she is denying, lekin again it is anti-feministic poem. Let me tell you, if I do a feministic analysis of this poem, then you come to know that एक फेमिनिज्म में एक टॉपिक स्टडी किया जाता है जिसको हम इंडिया में बोलते हैं ना में हाँ. बट ना में ना क्यों नहीं? क्योंकि आपको मालूम है कि एक्चुअली जो फिलिप सिडनी थे वो अनमैरिड थे. इसका मतलब है जिसको वो पसंद करते थे, शी वॉज अ मैरिड वुमन. ओके, एंड ही इज ऑल इमेजिनिंग इन हिज माइंड समवेयर. तो अगर एक लड़की मना कर रही है, तो देन इट our side, then why this patriarchy does not listen to no of a girl? Sometimes have to say this no many times, but this poem is against that way. That is why feminists make a contention. They argue that this poem is important from that point of view. Okay, so आप लोग कई बार क्या करते हो, केवल poem पढ़ लेते हो, but you don't go with your theory, with your analytical mind and go into the depth of the poem, and don't try to search the exact meaning. So this is a misogynistic poem, I consider. I've never read about it, but because I'm a feminist of sort, because I did my PhD on feminism, and I say that this poem has many elements which are objectionable. Okay, and even I consider that though I am a well trained person, क्योंकि जो MPhil करता है वो trained होता है. अभी जब PhD was not compulsory, अभी तक नहीं है, वो अगले साल से कंपल्सरी होगी केवल यूनिवर्सिटी टीचर्स के लिए. तो MPhil was considered to be the exact degree where you can teach the college students. So I'm entitled to teach the college teachers also grammar. But मैंने देखा है कि जो ग्रामर पढ़ाता रह जाता है, वो ग्रामर तो पढ़ाता है, रूल्स तो पढ़ता है. हम लोग ग्रामर ट्रांसलेशन रूल्स पढ़ते हैं ना टीचिंग मेथड्स में, तो वो केवल ग्रामर पढ़ते रह जाते हैं. ना तो इंग्लिश बोलना आता है, ना लिखना आता है, ना पोएम का एनालिसिस करना आता है, ना नॉवल की डेप्थ में जाना आता है. So I think I'm thriving with my first MPhil, that is in literature, and I consider that somewhere the second MPhil of mine on ELT, it supports me. But I today say that okay, grammar is important, but it is not as important. That is the reason that you may find certain errors, even the great books of the world also. So because grammar is grammar, because when your mind is more busy in grammar, somewhere your ideas, the flight of your ideas, it is restricted. Okay, so it's altogether 11:06. कल हम लोग आगे की चीज पढ़ेंगे और अब हम धीरे धीरे लिटरेचर को पकड़ेंगे. आई हैव ऑलरेडी टॉक्ड अ लॉट मच अबाउट द हिस्ट्री ऑफ English literature. I will upload this lecture on YouTube. You should watch it there. Thank you very much.